Starry class for advanced audit and taxation in preparation for November 2024 diet. You are welcome to the class. This is the very first class in this diet. I think the exam is November and we have started enough to start preparing by July. It's so exciting to be here. And first of all, let me congratulate you for crossing the line to the final stage of your ICAN examination. It's so easy. You have had the experience. Some people from 8 years, some they had foundation, some skills, and this is the last stage. So you are good to go to call you my professional colleague. So we are starting the class now. Please let me know if you can hear me. Let me know if you can see my screen. Please just signify your presence when you join. Thank you very much. Okay, we start now. This is our very first class. Few instruction or few words that is going to help us throughout our journey. This class is going to be interactive. That is a plan. Thank you very much. That is a plan for this class to be interactive. And to achieve this plan, your cooperation is highly needed. It's a weekly class, 1 hour every Friday. Okay, to make it interactive, please come prepared. Come with open mind, come with questions. The style of this diet, you can see, moving from Telegram to Teams, is to add more value to what we are getting from this platform. Thanks to Starry. Okay, I assume and I expect that you have started preparing. This class is majorly for revision, engagement, and for information purpose. This is advanced audit and taxation. You have done audit, assurance audit, AA. I'm very sure of that. So you have a taste of what is audit. Then you can ask, so what am I going to do in audit and advanced audit and taxation? Okay, I will start by saying this. The knowledge you have in audit and in advanced audit at the skill level is very much needed in this place, because basically advanced audit is the application, just like case study. What is case study doing? Case study is just to, it's like IT, that you want to actually practice what you are doing. And that is the essence of advanced audit. Of course, there are new topics, but they are so related to what you have done in audit and assurance audit at the skills level. So please don't forget your note in advanced audit. Is going to be helpful. Okay. And you will agree with me from your experience at the skills level that ICAN questions is so sufficient if you read your ICAN packs. I have a testimony to that. During my exam, during my time, I focused on the ICAN packs and the review questions, and it's really helpful. And I believe that you can testify to it. Because of that, I will implore you to prepare with your ICAN pack. Don't throw it away. The video lecture Asarigio prepared is so summarized, so simple, and self-explanatory. So before you come to class, it would be nice if we have gone through your notes, if we have gone through the video lectures. We just come here. Anywhere that is not clear, we discuss it. Like, it's better to have a physical, one-on-one lesson rather than maybe video or you are studying in them. That is the essence. I hope I am clear. Please contribute to the class. It's going to help us to have the interactive class. Okay, any questions so far? Any question, any contribution, any observation?
We are good. We can proceed now.
Thank you. Please, if you are not talking, you can just mute your mic. Thank you. So we start with the again introduction to audit and assurance. It's very important. This level, you are not basically going to be asked, and if you are asked about definitions, this is a professional level. So we want you to put it into practice. Just imagine you are working as a consultant in an maybe audit firm, and your client is asking you, what is audit? The way you define it, you will not define it like you are reading a book. You would explain it in like a professional way. In essence, that is what you are expected to. This is how you're expected to answer questions at this stage. So the meaning of audit and assurance. It is very similar to what we know before. It is very close to what you know in the AA during your skill level. So for revision's sake, so assurance engagement, what is assurance engagement? What are the key things when you are defining it that makes that show that this is an assurance engagement? There are three things. This engagement by one party to another party. And the essence is to give opinion on the information presented by another person. So what this means that as an auditor, what you are giving opinion on is not what you prepared by yourself. Somebody has prepared the information and you have to give opinion. That is what assurance engagement is. You just like, what do you see to this? It's as simple as that. Very simple. And if you have the understanding, you can define it, you can write it in your own words anyway. But the essence is this: the assurance engagement is an engagement between two parties, one being engaged and the other person engage the auditor. And the essence is just to give opinion. And what is the essence of this opinion? The opinion is for the person that contract the auditor to have assurance. Okay, give you assurance on this thing. And don't forget that the assurance you are given on the, maybe for example, financial statement that you are giving opinion on, many people are using this information. So a lot of people have expectations from you as an auditor. Okay, so whatever, if you say, oh, this financial statement is okay, you are putting a lot of people on the line. They trust you as an auditor. So that is why you have to give opinion that is objective, opinion that is not biased, opinion that you can support with evidences. Because if the people that are using your opinion take wrong decisions, as it is, they can charge you to court if they take wrong opinion, because they take wrong decision because of your opinion. I think of recent there was an auditor who was working in an audit firm. I can't remember the name of the firm. I think it was sanctioned. His license was suspended because of maybe giving wrong opinion. That is it. So, example of assurance engagement is not only that we need to know what type of engagement. We have statutory engagement, we have review engagement, we have those that are not audit related, but auditors can still do it. All in all, you know the example. If I start to ask, I know you can say it. Okay.
Yes, no.
If I'm too fast, please let me know. Okay, let's
Okay, ma.
continue. Okay, thank you. So the element of assurance engagement. In all the engagements you are going to do, whether audit related, whether non-audit related, you find some identical elements in it. Of course, it's going to be basically there are 5. Maybe we should start. Element of assurance engagement. There are 5. Please, you can check your notes. So we come back to that. We discuss it because we are studying together. Okay, we have audit. I said we can have to give opinion on audit and non-audit as engagement. So you should be able to differentiate between audit engagement and audit related services. I can ask you question. No part of the material is useless. Please be sure you can differentiate between audit engagement and audit related engagement. Please, it is very important. At this level, when you are defining the audit related engagement, you must show that you must convince the person that is going to mark it. No part of the study material, no part of the curriculum is useless. What are the examples of audit related services? You can have a review of data, okay, agreed upon procedures, compilations. Yes, if you are working in the audit firm, or you, okay, audit firm, of course, you have experience of other related services. They are not actually audit. What makes them not audit? You should be able to differentiate them. Why are they not audit? I give an example of audit related services that as an auditor you can do. Okay, I think I used to work in an audit firm. We had a client. What job did we do? They are doing investigation in the, and they needed, okay, I think, yeah, they are doing investigation and they needed professional accountants, professional consultants to confirm figures. In this case, it is not audit, but whatever you write as your report, you can see is being going to be used in the court. So your opinion can either jail someone or can set someone free. So you should be able to differentiate between audit related services and non-audit related services. Few examples of audit related services: review of data. Okay, what is review of data? Agreed upon procedure. What is agreed upon procedure? They can have compilation. For example, your client took a mortgage from the bank or a loan from the bank, and the bank come say, okay, you are owing us 36 million, and the mind of your client, I'm just owing you 2 million. Then as an auditor, you can be engaged to compile. Let me see what interest has accrued so far. Example. These are just examples. So it will be good when you are explaining, give examples. It's very, very important at this stage. It's going to be, before you get 1 mark, you're not supposed to write too much, but you have points. So I do recommend to people, if you are answering ICAN questions, especially at the advanced stage, when you define, give illustration. Even your definition is not in line with what is in the book, your illustration should carry the meaning of what you are trying to say. Ensure you put examples, right, in when you are giving definitions. Any questions so far? Any questions so far?
No question.
Thank
No,
No,
you.
we are
ma.
good.
Okay, so let's continue. Like you know that the report of auditor has a long way to go uh, on the decision people make based on the opinion given. A lot of people are interested in the financial statement. Let's take a stock, for example. If you give if you audit financial statement of a holding company, of a public company, so because of that, people might say, this company is performing very well. They invest. If your opinion is not right, you give a wrong opinion, and you say the company is doing well, and people invest in the company, and at the end of the day, they lose money. It's not good for the economy. It's not good for the people. And as is a profession, it's not also good. So there won't be a sense of accounting profession, whatever they write, just forget it. Because of that, audit profession is strictly regulated anywhere in the world. Anywhere in the world is regulated both locally and internationally. So you can look at the regulatory environment. ICAN as a body do regulate the activities of members, right? Every member, if you want to get a license, even if you become a chartered accountant, you have responsibility to ICAN. Why? Because they have to regulate your conduct, you have to regulate your activities, because whatever you do is going to uh maybe if you do right, it's going to give credit or discredit if it is wrong to the profession. That is why even ICAN, the government, the international bodies, they regulate this audit profession. So when you are looking at the regulatory environment, you look at uh the profession itself at the local level, the country level, and international wise. Okay, why you can explain why audit is being regulated. I believe that I just explained why audit is being regulated. Then what are the ethical regulations? Professional body like ICAN, if you go to another country, you see another professional body, the law of the country, and IFAC, International Federation of Accountants, as a body, international wise, they also regulate all members and members' activities. And they give guidance on the conduct when you are getting engagement, even as a chartered accountant, the way you talk in the environment, because it's a noble profession that is being protected. So the ethical in every area is being regulated. So the legal regulations, we have Nigeria. I think the Company and Allied Matter Act also have some regulations for companies generally. Then in the industry wise, the conduct of auditor is also regulated industry wise. For example, if you are a companies in the banking sector, financial sector, there are regulations for auditing them. In the oil and gas, regulations for auditing them. So as an auditor, you have to understand the regulations, what to do. The practice you do for companies in, for example, FMCG, or companies in the oil and gas, you have to you consider the peculiarities of other industries. So if you are an auditor, for example, in the, I think one of the big fours, they have segmentations. If you are an auditor, you can be auditor merger and acquisition. So it be specialized in acquisition. That person that specializes in acquisition and merger, that person can take it as a career. I audit businesses, audit mergers and acquisition. Why? The person cannot apply the same method to audit companies like maybe financial sector. That is why the big four, you see them, they segregate it. So you are auditor, you are in tax, you are auditing financial services, you are auditing insurance, you are auditing FMCG, oil and gas. Why? Because the regulations are different. So you audit as a profession, I can, and the accounting rules, They are not the same. That is why regulation in this aspect, they are also different. For public company and company that are listed also, the regulations are different. Because, for example, if you work in the UK, if you work in the US, if you work in Canada, they will give report real time. For example, if you open NAFDAC now, you want to see, is it NASDAQ? You want to see the stock of a company, public company, you have to see the value of the company per time. And to get the value of the company, the auditor must have given opinion that, oh, you can rely on this value. Because of that, the regulations are wide, and auditor must be exposed to it. What if you can work anywhere? As an accountant, you are not like restricted to a particular industry. That is why you have to be exposed to these regulations. Please read up on the regulations of different kind of industries, what you are supposed to know, what you're supposed to take cognizance of. Is very important. Okay, this is also good. Let's look at the appointment of auditors in Nigeria, the case study of Nigeria. Please, if you are considering the note in ACCA for audit, please focus on ICAN PAC. Why? Because regulations across countries are not the same. Other subjects you can consider ACCA. For tax audit, please concentrate more on Nigerian laws. This is not generalized. It will not be wise for ICAN to be asking about laws that are not related to Nigeria. That is why you must be familiarized with Nigerian laws. Okay, look at the appointment of auditors in Nigeria. What is the law saying? Where do you find the law? You can find the law in the Company and Allied Matter Act as amended. Okay. So what is it? You have to how do you appoint an auditor? This is a real business, it's a business organization, and you know that government is interested in business organizations for to build the economy of the company of the country, and of course for government to get the the tax. So they are regulated in terms of appointments. How do you employ an auditor? For example, the law says that every company should have an auditor. So how do you employ an auditor? Okay, there's also regulation for remuneration of auditor. How do you remunerate your auditor? This aspect is good for us to know so that you don't undercharge yourself and you don't overcharge yourself. It's very important. Then there is also a law for removing auditors in Nigeria. What does the law say? There's a saying that if you don't know your right, you can be abused. So that is why this part is very important. And not only for passing the exam sake, if you want to build your career in audit, you also need to be familiar with this aspect. Please read up. If you have any question, we can just discuss it. Okay, there's also law for resignation of auditors in Nigeria. And who can act as an auditor? The law also make definition. Who can actually act as an auditor? Is it everybody that is fit to act as an auditor, to act as an external auditor? In Nigeria, if I can strictly monitor the issuance of licenses after you pass your exam and you want to get license to act like an external auditor, because the knowledge you have gotten is sufficient to have your firm. So at the ICAN level, there are regulations, and the law of the country also specifies some requirements to be met. For the profession, as a professional body, I think you have to serve in the audit firm. You serve in the audit firm. You go to ICAN tutorial. It's been Serious, unlike before that you can just say, oh, I work in an audit firm 3 years, 4 years, so, and get your license. No. After you have passed this auditor, after you have served on the audit firm, you still go to ICAN tutorial. This one is physical. So they are being regulated. They are doing all these things so that to make the profession more reputable. Okay, your right and duty as an auditor is very important also to know your right and duty. Local company law, for example, I mean Company and Allied Matter Act, impose certain duties on external auditors. You have a duty and they grant certain rights also. The duty of external auditor, according to law, the duty of external auditor, according to law, number one, to examine the financial statement, then issue auditor's report on the financial statement that is presented to you, to state whether, oh, the financial statement gives true or unfair view of the financial position and that's been prepared in accordance with the reporting framework and in accordance with the law of the country. You can see why you need to understand the laws and the regulations, because you are giving opinion that, okay, this is what they have audited, this is what they have done, I have audited it, they prepare it fine, and it's okay. Then you're right as an auditor. You have power. Once you are appointed as an auditor, you have power to access the books of account. No matter how big or small an auditor is, as long as you have that, you have been appointed as an auditor, you can ask even Mr. President, give me this. You have the power. Auditor of the country, you have the right to ask Mr. President, oh, give me this in accordance with law. Okay, so please, is very that aspect is important to know. You can see, because it's important for you as a person, as an auditor. If ICAN is asking question in this part, it is not out of place because it's relevant. It's very relevant for the job, for the profession, even for you and for passing sake. So don't overlook this aspect. It's not difficult. You don't have to cram. Okay, you don't have to cram this aspect. It's not difficult at all. Just the way we are just talking. Just see yourself as an auditor. What are my duties? You should know your duty. What are my rights? You should know your rights. If you want, if as a person, as a citizen of Nigeria, even if I did not open the Constitution of Nigeria, I know my rights. I don't have to cram it. Same also in audit profession. You should know your right. You should know your duty. So this point, you can list as many as possible. You don't have to cram it. It's so simple. Once you understand, like, oh, the right of an auditor, just see yourself as an auditor. What do I have access to? What do my right? Then this aspect, if you are cramming everything, this aspect, you don't have to cram it. It's so practical. Practical. You can just, oh, just look at the scene. Oh, these are my rights. These are my duties. If they want to appoint me as an auditor, wow, what do I need to do? And again, it's an advanced audit. Please don't overlook this aspect that they might not ask. They can ask because it's still an extension of what you did in skills. Responsibility of management and those charged with governance. This aspect is very important, and you might be asked why? Because in the profession, some of the problems that auditors do have, of course, when you graduate, you join the duty society and you meet colleagues sharing the experience. It's so rampant that the directors, most of them, they don't know their responsibilities. That is why this aspect you need to know to differentiate the roles. When you are auditing account, you are not a fraud detector. You should understand it. You are not a fraud uh, prevent to prevent fraud. No, that is not your responsibility. Okay? Your own is to say, oh, I see this and close it. I know in my office, people say, oh, when you're working, and the auditors are coming to see, and they are coming. They did not see this thing. They did not see this thing. What if they saw? If they saw it, so we accountants expect that auditors should fix the problem. No, please read up this aspect. That is not the duty of auditors. Please read this aspect. The responsibility of management and those charged with governance. I've seen this aspect in the Pathfinder, like question exam questions. Yeah, it's very important. Please read up that aspect. Professional regulations, of course, you know this. Professional regulations like international standards for auditors, standard auditing standard international wise, and the harmonization of accountancy profession and the audit profession. What is the relationship? How can we merge them together? The advantage and disadvantage. As an auditor, you're an accountant. Okay? As an auditor, you are an accountant. So you should be able to find the harmony between the two uh, responsibilities. Responsibilities, you can be in a company, you can be transferred to the internal audit section. So you are still an accountant. You're just changing your role. Okay. So that's about the harmonization of accounting and the audit profession. The professional standard, we are familiar with this. Oh, the international standard setting processes, the international standard on auditing. This aspect, there are a lot. It's just like IFRS. What are you expected to do? At this stage, this stage is a practical stage. You are being seen as, so some of your questions are going to be case studies and you are solving problems. Some questions you might see, they write 3 pages, they write essay. At the end of the day, what they are asking you is, what is audit? What it means. Because of the stage that you are writing. You are solving problems. So you might not see direct questions and the thing like that. That is why you need to understand the basics of all this better than the skills level. Okay, any questions so far? Any questions so far? Are we still together?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma, we're together.
Thank you.
We're
Am
together. We're
I
together.
permitted to ask a question?
Go on, ma.
Or not today?
Go ahead,
Okay,
ma.
my
Ask your
question
question.
is, well, who has started reading and what chapter have you read so far? Do you understand my question? Have you started reading and what chapter are you right now?
I will start today.
You start today. Fine.
Honestly,
Okay.
madam, I've not started reading. No.
Please, the earlier the better.
Have started chapter. I'm still in chapter 1.
Oh, so we are on the same page. We are reviewing chapter 1 actually. So I expect more questions from you. Okay, please go ahead, Mr. Okun Ade.
Evening, ma'am.
Good evening, sir.
Really appreciate your efforts, ma'am. Please, I want to confirm as regard this lecture because I'm new here. I want to know. I hope you will be displaying your screen, or it is how is that how it will be looking at? Are you going to display the screen or not?
Okay, okay. I understand your question.
Yes, ma. Thank you.
Hello, good evening. Can you hear me?
I have a question now.
I can hear you. Please go ahead.
Okay, but please, I'm still on chapter one. So I noticed something. Though there's one the summary I was reading. I saw elements of assurance engagement. Then in
Okay.
another book, I saw features of an audit engagement. So I was kind of confused if both of them are saying the same thing because I saw the three-party relationship in both the features and the elements. Can
Yeah.
I use it interchangeably, the element and the feature, to mean the same thing?
Oh, thank you. I like the. I'm not sure this. I like the question. Yeah, and I think I've mentioned something like this earlier. That this stage you might not be asked a straightforward question because you are a professional already. So, what you need to do, and what you need to know is uh the understanding of the scenario they present to you. If they say the features of assurance engagement, what do you mean features? And when you say element of assurance engagement, they are similar. So what they are saying in exam, what if they did not even say features and elements? Yes, at this stage, they will not say, give me features and elements. They will, you will see, you can go to web access to management area. I'll put review questions there that you can answer every week to test your knowledge and read more. They are not all, it's just to test your knowledge. The way they will ask you question is they will give scenario. Oh, after this scenario, okay, you have to advise your client what assurance engagement entails. They are still asking elements of assurance engagement. They are still asking for the features of assurance engagement. You understand me, right? So if you are seeing features, don't be bothered. If you are seeing element, don't be bothered. Even in the exam, you can see a different thing. But the thing is, what is feature? What I mean, if somebody is asking you about features of a bag, what you will see in a bag, that's what they are saying. An element of a bag, the parts of a bag, that's what they are saying. So they are the similar. Then you relate it with the case study they give to you. Simple. I hope I was able to answer your question. Are you satisfied with the question, with the answer?
Yes, ma. Yes, ma. Thank you very much.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Any other question, please?
Hello, ma.
What about the screen?
Oh,
Yes, it's not really a question. It's like an appeal.
okay, please
Hello,
go
can you
ahead.
hear me? Ma? I don't know if you can assist us with a case scenario where audit risk was tested after this class.
Audit risk, right?
Yes,
Okay, no problems.
Egg is how much?
thank you.
Why grandma? No problem. Make us solve this now. 900 now.
Okay, I like your suggestion now. Before that, let me answer the screen sharing. Of course, I was sharing screen before. We are going to share screen, but I will just share the topic we are discussing because this class is discussion class, is not tutorial. We are discussing. Like what Mr. Wisdom asked now, I like it very well, and it's going to help us because this class is going to be for 12 weeks, and you can agree with me that we cannot cover the whole topics for 12 weeks. I guess I'm correct. So it would be nice. Of course, I have my plan, but I can work with your plan because you are the one that want to write the exam. So that is why I encourage you to study before the class. So we know what we work towards, because there is no point of giving somebody a food that the person does not want to eat. Okay, so it's your request that will drive the class. Now he has given me a request for business risk, audit risk. It is in my plan, but what if you are not able to cover it? But now that you have mentioned it, I will just bring it forward. Okay, it's not disorganized, it's still organized, but to satisfy your request on time, because it will be unfortunate that I will not cover it and the question on that come in the exam. I also expect that you read personally. There is like a video lecture that is compressed. Starry Gold is doing a lot of work. The video lecture is compressed. We have weekly 50 days challenge. They prepare, these are focused, they are like bespoke, customized materials, very suitable for working people, and they are explanatory. So please read before the class and lead us to the next class. Now we have a lead for the next class or business risk. Please don't stop. You are in chapter 1. Please don't stop. Don't stop chapter 1. Flow like that. Flow that way. So when we are talking about business, this class is recorded. You can get the material on it when you get to business risk to discuss, to check when you are reading. It's going to give you prior knowledge. Oh, I've read this thing and you are reading it. So it's still fine. I hope I'm cleared. Mr. Femi, please, you have the floor.
Thank you, madam. If I'm right, it's like you said that probably next week we'll be taking business risk.
Based on the request.
My question is that, don't you have a plan for the 12 weeks, what you are going to cover?
Okay. Oh.
Don't you have a plan for that 12 weeks? Because why I'm asking is that if you have a plan for that 12 weeks and somebody is coming for one question or the other, it may interrupt or disrupt your plan. And I believe that may not help the class.
Yes.
Whatever anybody is asking should be an addendum, not the main thing that you have for the 12 weeks.
Okay, yeah, I understand you. Thank you very much. That's very considerate.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's very considerate. I like that. Of course. Okay, please, Mr. Usman, you can go ahead.
Hello, ma.
Please go ahead.
Yes, ma. My question is same with Mr. Femi. Like we used to have course outlines. Course outlines should be provided so that it will also be a guide for us to to follow during the course of the class. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Fine. Oh, for the course outline, the course outline that I have is in line with the video lecture. Okay, is in line with video lecture. So with Mr. Femi has said, the topic, let me check my plan again. That business risk. Check 1 minute. Let me check what I prepare for next week. Oh, quality control. The business risk is a topic, is a critical topic that we must touch. But why I said is that come with expectation to the class. What this has done for me is this. Business week is just confirming to me that it must be part of my plan. If it is not in my plan, then I have to include it. I have my plan already, but there are some important topics that must not be avoided. We can bring the topic that you have read that you do not understand. Even if it's not in my plan, we will discuss it, because everybody must be carried along. And I believe that no question can be silly, no question can be irrelevant. In this class, any question you have, the course outline is in the video lecture, I will try to also roll it out. What the topic I have for the 12 weeks, you just check. If yours is not there, please continue reading. I do not want my plan to disturb your reading plans. This class is basically for us to have a discussion, what you have read so far, in addition to my plan. Have I been able to answer the questions?
Yes, ma. Understood.
Okay. Can we continue, please? I think we still have some area to cover. So far, we are looking at the audit. Okay, please go
Hello,
ahead.
ma.
Please go ahead.
It's just that I was going through the last diet question. I think the last question, which falls between the the topic we are discussing, which is the chapter one, the introduction.
Okay.
You know, where they were asking about the to explain audits and assurance.
Okay.
And then I think the other one was is it attestation.
Mm-hmm.
So I was trying to like know the difference, you know, the difference between audits, auditing, assurance, and attestation. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
And the same was asked in, I think, question one of that same last diet, where though it didn't come out straight, like
Mm-hmm.
what should be contained in an audit plan.
Yeah, I understand your question. Yeah.
They didn't ask it straight. An
Yes.
audit plan. In fact, when they are in a report, they just wrote one long story like that.
Uh-huh. Yes.
Anything goes. One long
Yes.
story.
Yes.
After the whole long sermon, they now ask what should the auditor
Yes.
include in the
Yes.
report.
Yes.
From the
And it's
pathfinder, when I was looking at it, the thing I was not able to marry the two, because
yeah.
the scenario presented in the long sermon didn't give me the idea of where the answer
Uh-huh.
is actually going to.
Interesting. Very
So
interesting. Yeah, I
I
understand you. Yeah, I understand you. Because of our time, we have 12 more minutes, and you have made a valid point, and I've said it before. Please prepare your mind that you are a professional right now. If ICAN is going to ask you what is audit, they are not going to come straight. I have said it before, and it's good that you have seen it in the past questions. So, part of the skills you need to build in this part, because it's easier to say what is the difference between audit. If you check the topics in the audit and assurance and advanced audit and assurance, they are very similar. So, what differentiates the two? You are a professional. One of this, I mean, part of the skills you need to build is ability to assimilate, because as an auditor, you are going to be communicated on papers. They write email to you. So if you cannot read email and understand the request of your clients, how do you provide a quality service? That is the essence of the sermon they are giving there. So if you cannot understand the sermon, you know the answer. There is nothing they want to ask you that you don't know. But because you do not know that that is what they are asking you, please be expected to see sermons in your questions. It's just the preparation of building an auditor. So to answer your question, attestation, audit, and this, I have explained it before and I will say it again. There's difference between audit work and audit related services. Please read this aspect very well. Read it very well. You can go to management area, you see examples related questions. Try to answer it and find related questions in the Pathfinder and see several ways they can ask questions about difference between audit and audit related services. Attestation is audit related services. It's an audit related service that has its own standard. It is regulated. Okay. Example of let's say statutory audit. What is statutory audit? Statutory audit, you can differentiate it from attestation. Number one, statutory audit is audit engagement. Attestation is audit related engagement. It is audit related. It is not actually audit. Why is it not audit? You have seen the element of audit. In attestation, in audit related services, you will not see this element complete because it's a special aspect of audit. Right? Attestation, what is attestation? We get attestation letter from school. Confirmation. Oh, it is. You are not giving opinion. You attest something that, oh, it is. Then they say, this sales is 500 million. You are saying, yes, it is 500 million. You are not saying, in my opinion, they have done whatever they have done. You have checked the invoices. So the level of work you do is not as detailed as audit, because you are not giving, when you say you are giving opinion, you are giving somebody your word. That is what differentiates audit from non-audit. It is very similar. Please, this aspect, let it be maybe the goal of this week, that I can differentiate between audit and audit related services. Example of audit related services, you will see compilation. As an auditor, you can be engaged to compile, anything. Those difficulties they cannot do in their company, they can engage you to do it. As an auditor, you can be engaged to review data. You can be, for example, attestation is very common when there are court issues. They can call you to court. Oh, Mr. A, as what do they call it in court? Help me. Evidence, witness in court. As a witness, what are you doing in the court as a witness? You are giving attestation that, oh, I confirm it's true that the sales made by company A to company B is 500 million. So this thing is between the two of you, 500 million. The court is saying, company B, you are owing, maybe company A take company B to the court. That company B is owing them 500 million. And the company B is saying, we did not buy up to 500 million. And the court will say, give me somebody, a witness. And he say, let me call my the company B. I say, let me call my auditor to do all the purchases we had in 2022. The company A also say, okay, I will call my auditor. She's a professional that a court respect, right? So they cannot just call somebody, an accountant in the company. The court wants somebody they respect, they can hold responsible, and is an accountant with a qualified accountant, a qualified auditor, to give attestation. It is true, 500 million, they sold it. It is different. Please let this week, the goal of this week, be to be able to differentiate between engagement, audit engagement, and non-audit engagement, like audit related services. I hope I'm clear. Can we do that this week?
Yes, ma'am. Okay, ma'am. Please, can I ask another question?
Please go
Can
ahead.
you, in a nutshell, if you are given a long report like that, how do you know? Like, can you teach us how to apply it? Because it seems all we are talking about is applying a scenario.
Sure.
Where do you look? What do you look for? So that you know exactly what, okay, from this scenario, this is what I'm looking out for, so that it will help me or give me an idea of what I'm expected to do.
Okay, to answer that question, let me quickly try if I can see a question like that, because it's dynamic. What you see in the Pathfinder might not be your case in exam. You understand? You understand my point?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah,
Yes, ma'am.
so the thing is,
Yes, ma'am.
you have to understand the question, and that will be between you and the exam question. So it might not be similar. Assurance. Let me try if I can see something.
Hello, madam.
Hello, please go ahead.
Okay, sorry. Good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Want to suggest something. We've been seeing a lot of challenge in terms of how to extract, how to or how to read meaning to some of these case
Case
studies
studies.
of the audit.
Mm-hmm.
What I want to suggest is, if possible, maybe after a class or during the class, whatsoever, depending on how do you want to arrange it or Starry Good want to arrange it. I want to bring in at least maybe a kind of case study question like 2, 3, or 1 to 2, 3 diets, so that we can have uh, points to hit
An
on
idea, yeah, I understand.
behind such, so that maybe at least if we have 1 to 3 of such, at least no matter how they will paint the question, we can extract something to have something or an idea over it. Just
Sure.
a suggestion.
You're on point. Yes, you're actually on point. If you are
Yeah,
familiar,
I agree with him.
yes,
Yes, that's correct. Maybe any topic like as we've discussed the first chapter, we'll get 1 or 2 case study on that topic so that we'll have an idea. This is how it
Evening.
looks like.
Is that water?
thank you.
The bag.
Let me ask this question. Do you have access to the members area in Starry Gold? Starry Gold.
Eh?
Do you have access to Starry Gold members area?
Not yet.
Please,
Personal.
please write to
Yeah.
the admin. So all these things you are saying,
No,
Starry Gold has made
I've never
provision
been
for
this
them.
one before. Just the one they buy for us.
Please
Waiting
mute
be
your mic.
Gab.
Please
So
mute your mic. Okay, thank you. So please request for access to the members area. This every week you have review questions. Starry God has done that. Review questions that are related to the topic. Then you will see. And you also have mock exam. Mock exam is coming from the way different way ICAN can set questions. Starry God has done that. Please go to the members area. You will see review questions that you are asking for is there. Are you satisfied with the question, with the answer? Rather? You can write the admin, Starry Gold admin. So you'll be given access to the members area. Then you have this review question. If you are familiar with the skills level, you will see when the lectures were taken on Telegram, you see every week questions are also there. The same thing is being applied here. You will see questions every week on the members area that you can practice. Okay? I want to believe this 1 hour is not a waste of time. You got 1 or 2 things that's helpful.
Yes, ma.
Yeah. So if that is actually yes, so I would like to see you again next week. And the question for this week is on the members area. I will see if I can next time if I can add it to the message here. Is going to let me try. I'm just going to try. This is not the question of the week. Let me just try if something like that because it's a lot. Maybe
Hello?
please please ignore this. I'm just trying if it's going to work here. I think it can work. I think I think it can work. So next week you will see something like that. I will post it here and you can also have access to it on the members area. Thank you very much for coming today.
Thank you, my teacher.
I'll be expecting you. Mr. Chinwendu, is that Mr. or Mrs.? Please, I can ask you a question. We have 1 minute.
Is Mrs. Chiwendu, please,
I'm
ma,
sorry.
I would like to know what your plan for next week lecture is, so we can read ahead. Maybe you can give us the chapter so we can come prepared
Okay.
ahead of that.
We are checking quality next week. Quality, 1 minute. Let me
Quality
check.
control.
Quality, let me check. Chapter 5 actually.
Control.
Yeah, quality control. Thank you. I say 220 and the likes. Chapter 5 actually. We're considering chapter 5 next week.
It's okay. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. I appreciate your presence here a lot. Thank you very
Thank
much.
you, ma'am.
Hello, madam.
Mm-hmm.
Madam. Can you hear me?
The next.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Okay,
Bye.
thank you, ma.
Mm-hmm.
Good night. Bye.
Good night.
Thank you, ma.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Thank you. We appreciate it.
Appreciate you. Thank you.